Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of 10 Dead Rats, a Warhammer fantasy and old school D&D mashup. That is indeed us, or most of us, unfortunately. First most important announcement to make is that Colleen is unable to join us tonight. Apparently there was a kerfluffle with a turkey. I don't want to say who's at fault here, but, yeah.
Sounds like a turkey.
So, I'm gonna tell Colleen you called her a turkey.
No.
Shut up, turkey.
So we are without Colleen tonight, and Max has informed me that the internet in his area has been not awesome. So we're hoping that Max is gonna stick it out through the adventure. Yeah. We'll see.
I'll try not to do any of my classic things where I freeze intentionally and confuse people.
Yeah, we were very confused as we see your cats wandering around in the background.
Wander back and forth, yeah.
Max not moving. Yeah, great.
If Max drops out, the rest of us will just share responsibilities for Bruno. We'll just swap off.
I think
whatever the worst choice is.
Yeah,
right.
That should be pretty accurate to how I would do it.
Scream entitlement over and over for 20 minutes until you read the next.
Entitlement.
We'll make an audible at the moment of figure out what needs to happen if Max vanishes. And the last thing that I should mention is that, of course, the entire channel, the Wandering DMs channel, takes a break at the end of every December. So the second half of December, the channel goes dark. So I think that our last official 10 Dead Rats for the season, I believe, will be next Thursday, the 10th. And then you won't see us again until January. So, sorry, everyone, but that will begin Season 3 of 10 Dead Rats.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
Season 3. I heard Season 3 is where you start making the good money. Like, you get kind of set for life sort of money.
Finally start rolling in?
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. I look forward to being sponsored.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We're going to be sponsored by the Big Bad.
I don't know. I've been working on my tied-in MeUndies ad. So
I think you mean Raid Shadow
Squarespace.
Raid Shadow MeUndies or the Ray-Ban, whatever the headphones that are all around right now, whatever those are.
Amazing. Look forward to some sponsored spots by Christian coming soon in Season 3.
They're not going to pay us. He's just going to do them.
He's just going to do them. Yep. Special headphones for your underwear is what I'm hearing. So, excellent. Can't wait. With all that aside, let's get into tonight's game of 10 Dead Rats.
Oh, man.
Interesting.
We're back! What happened last week? Last week in 10 Dead Rats, let's see. Is this correct? Am I looking at the right page here, even? The group went back to Kemperbad, according to my notes. Kemperbad? Gosh, it was 2 weeks ago, and I can barely remember what the hell happened.
Oh, we just went back and forth for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I have this note that I literally have no clue what the hell it means, so I'm just gonna skip past it. We did, the group did meet with a gentleman named Nortrand, who directed the party on how to obtain some
snuff. Totally normal stuff.
Yes.
Islavite snuff.
Narup, in fact. Yes. Perhaps this detail that's in this note that I can't read at all is that, of course, that when the party finally re-met with Sergei with their orders to retrieve a very large shipment of Narup to deliver back up to Altdorf, discovered that he did not have the supply. And so they traveled off to meet a friend of Sergei's named Nortrand, who directed them to possibly do some kind of raid or deal or something with a doctor named Rousseau, who apparently has been producing the stuff in the town of Witgendorf. Also mentioned that there was some connection to a group of bandits that lived, or brigands that lived out in the woods, and they were given a name of Bliktrund, a certain member of that band who was perhaps working with or for Dr. Rousseau in exporting some of the Narop from Witgendorf. So, with all this information in hand, the party got into a coach, drove south for a day till they got to the boat landing, that the former ferry that would lead to Witgendorf that looked highly disused. Were left unceremoniously there as the coach trundled on to more welcoming environs, and got into a not too leaky boat, pulled themselves across the river to Witgendorf, where they were greeted by the sight of a noble-looking lady and her band of guards in full plate armor, apparently abducting a very sad-looking villager, which was being resisted by another villager who, for his troubles, had his arm lopped off. And the party wisely decided to stay back and wait for the lady and her guard to leave, which they did, and then approach the remaining handful of villagers who stood around the motionless body. Bruno was able to determine that indeed he had died of blood loss. And the remaining villagers, emaciated as they were, pleaded with the party for any kind of food or alms that they might spare.
And I believe all of them had like blue stuff around their mouth. Is what we saw.
Certainly the corpse did. Certainly the corpse had a little bit of a crusty something blue in the corner of his mouth. Indeed he did.
Yes. This is the divide in what we remember, because you remember the crusty blue corpse, and I was about to say, and then Yeffy gave them pocket sausage. So that's what I remember.
Yeffy
so
gave them?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'm beginning to regret getting involved in this illicit organized crime drug deal. Did not expect that to go awry for us, and yet...
Yeah, who could have thought?
Here we are.
Here we are. Wow. Crime
I regret that time when we turned something invisible. I didn't think that would cause regrets, but I do now regret that.
Yeah.
That wasn't... It just seemed like a really good idea at the time.
It was a good idea
why.
at the time. It was
I don't think it was even a good idea at the time.
At the time, it wasn't an idea. It was fun.
It was an idea.
We did it, yeah.
It was a very funny idea. Yeah. This is less funny.
So, are the villagers around here, because we're just still kind of in the town square, right?
You're actually on a road, on a little bit of road that leads to the town. So you can see, so basically you had come up a path that led from the disused ferry dock up towards town, which is on a bit of a higher ground. And the town itself, you can see, it looks not too far away, just a couple hundred yards, a short walk over there. In fact, some of the villagers that you gave some pocket sausage to have finally fought over all the last remaining scraps and are slowly shuffling their way along the road back towards town. You can see that along the path it forks, leading away from the town further up the hillside towards the large, dark, looming castle that overlooks, and which is the direction that you saw the lady and her guard take the one unfortunate individual. To the south, there is a large forest, which you're led to believe houses a band of brigands, perhaps.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and William says, "Oh my God, they ate Yeffy." No,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeffy and Sergey are busying themselves down by the riverside, pulling the boat up onto shore and making it look a little inconspicuous so that it is ready for an escape should one be necessary.
Oh, we're gonna need one.
Great.
Yeah. No, I think things are going great thus far.
Yeah, great. I always call seeing a man cut down in the road a pretty great thing, you know? I think that's pretty great, Bruno. You're right.
This is what happens when you have no laws, when you got this independent town. This is why we need monarchies.
Yeah. I feel like it's the rich people who are causing this, maybe.
Well, that's, you know, we'll get into a political debate when we get to Rousseau. Are there any of the...
Oh, there it is. There it is. There goes Max. I wasn't expecting it so soon. So soon. He had an excellent question prepared for us. Alas.
This is now a text-based adventure.
This might be the shortest session ever.
Am I back at all?
Oh, we heard that a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are
Are you there, Max?
Not
A little
good.
stuttery.
I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay.
So
Big robot voice.
So Max, one thing I have done in the past is you can actually connect to this interface via a smartphone. It does technically work. It will use your phone's camera, and it looks good on our end. It looks terrible on your end because you'll be staring at a tiny little screen. But that's an option to you. If you can even hear us at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what Bruno's question was.
I bet it was good.
Probably something terrible.
Is there anything dead I can bring back to life? Maybe.
Max, I've got a text message here from Max. He is going to try and do the phone trick. So, in the meantime, Bruno wanders. Bruno continues to futz about with the corpse that still lays here in a heap, oozing blood onto the ground, prodding it with his surgery daggers, leaving Indigo and Mina to stand over.
Great. So I think we have kind of like two options, right? Like we can wander off into the woods and try to just find the bandits, or maybe they'll find us. Or we could ask around in town to see if anybody knows Bliktrund, how we can contact her.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bliktrund was one of the bandit people. My concern is that the bandits sound like there's a complicated political structure going on. But my concern with the town is that everyone here is starving and desperate.
Yeah, and also what looks like to be the royal guard here just killed somebody in the street. So, not feeling too good about the town. Not feeling too good.
Oh no!
Whoa.
That looks good. How does that look?
That's amazing.
I don't even know how that
impressionistic.
happened.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. There we go. Your picture looks great, Max.
Oh, really? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
And your
is
picture's
absurd.
probably sharper than the webcam that you usually use.
Yeah, you
That's
look
pretty
real,
unfortunate.
like-
The webcam I got had the best reviews of all the web. All right. Let me plug my phone in here so it doesn't die.
Awesome.
This is great. You want a tour? Here, we'll do a quick tour of the apartment. Here's the one room you can't see on my screen, and it's over. And that's the tour.
Yeah. Comments in the chat, Max,
Great.
they're impressed by the increasing quality of your picture.
Oh my god! I paid $100 for that webcam.
Well, it doesn't
Okay,
beat
all right.
what I assume to be an iPhone camera.
Yeah. Phone cameras are pretty good, as it turns out.
Oh man!
I'm sorry
All
that you're
right.
probably staring at the show on the tiniest screen in the world, but
I can see everyone okay. My own image is kind of gigantic, but that's fine for me.
you could turn that off, I think, with the little rectangle button at the bottom.
No, I'm like Narcissus here. I want to stare at my own. Let's see.
When he's on the computer, Max always just makes his camera fill up the entire screen anyway.
That's true, yeah. It's tough to play video games. People are always yelling at me while I'm doing so poorly. I'm like, I look great doing it, whatever is happening.
Oh my goodness! Look, Colleen, at what happens to the show when you leave
This
us.
is what happens. Colleen took one day.
Not for 1 minute.
Oh man! Oh man! Oh man!
Christ. All right, I'm gonna try it like this. I hope
Awesome.
this keeps up.
Fabulous!
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't kill your data plan. Now that I've recommended
I think
you
I
do
have
it.
unlimited. I think
Okay,
I have
great.
unlimited data. Yeah.
Nice.
We'll find out when you get the bill. So, Bruno has just looked up from prodding the corpse with his surgery daggers. Definitely still dead. Indigo
Great.
was just mentioning options. I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, so if you want to pay attention here, Bruno, to the pressing matters at hand.
What?
I
Look at the
I feel
pus
like
coming
we've
out of
got-
this guy, though. All right, sorry.
Yeah. All dead bodies are full of pus, Bruno. We get it.
Ow.
Oh,
I said that I see.
No,
just got into
fun.
it.
it's more of a grayish yellow.
Oh, let's do it again.
Oh man.
So, I think we have
Yeah.
2 options that I can think of, which is we can either go into town and ask about Bliktrund, or we can wander off into the woods and try to find the bandits. Mina brought up a good point, which is both of those options sound terrible.
Yeah.
So just Bliktrund, I'll just remind you, is the name of the brigand contact that you have.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
So
And
right,
he
it
works
kind
for
of feels
Ingrid.
like right. Who's
what I
head of the
remember.
bandits? Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed.
It kind of like. What do you think the chances are that people in town know about the bandits?
I mean, they probably do, right? I assume the bandits are sourced from the town. Like they're people who used to be in the town and decided this town is bad.
I'm not sure
Has
what
to
would
be
cause
in.
them to decide that. It's just that the
you
other
say like
people
while
in the
crouched
town.
over the corpse.
Yeah, right. It's just that lifting up the dead guy's arm. It's just that the people in town seem a little, not
Hostile. Yeah.
not all together. Yeah. One
so
option I'm
we
feeling
wanna-
good about not doing is going anywhere near the spooky castle that horrible lady and her
Excellent
very
point.
well armed guards went towards.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't mean to spit in the pudding here, but isn't that where the rock is that we're also looking for?
No, I mean,
We're on a we're on a snuff mission right now, and the rock is
Right, yeah.
different. Yeah,
Great.
so
Yeah,
maybe
let's
we can
separate
come back.
professional
Yeah.
life from personal life. Good call. I like that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Which one's the professional? I'm
That's what I
getting
was wondering.
yeah.
I don't know.
I
Whichever
do
one
want to
you
keep my
want.
work-life balance. Oh boy.
They just both happen to involve this terrible town and this terrible castle.
Yeah. My
So-
vote is for the woods, I think. Because this town has nothing going for it.
Yeah, my concern about going to the town is that we're going to give ourselves a bunch of unnecessary attention. Surely the Wittgensteins have spies in the town or something, or
Right.
loyalists. I don't know.
We could walk
I hear-
through town, not talk to anybody, and just sort of scope it out, and then head to the woods.
Well, wasn't that our plan initially? And then we walked towards town and someone immediately got murdered.
That's
So
true.
we have kind of scoped it out.
True. Seems bad. Seems bad.
Scope
Initial
is poor.
scoping is bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy to go into the woods and try to find some bandits.
I mean, I was definitely initially on the let's go find the doctor and then get
Yeah.
out of Dodge plan, but we might need some help with this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Right.
What do you think?
All right, let's go into the woods. Let's see what happens.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
So, as you come up with your
Wait, I take
plan
it back.
to go
You seem way too excited.
head into the woods. So you plan to head off into the woods. Sergey says, my friends, here's what I am suggesting. You go into the woods and try to find our contacts, yes? And Yeffy and I will stay here and and we will slyly move into town. I think I am seeing a nice building which is probably in, and maybe we can just covertly get a space for us to stay at without drawing too much attention, so that you have a place to return to for safety. Is this sounding a good idea, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than the thought that we might be safer in the woods or anywhere other than the town, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great thought, but I would rather crawl out of my own skin than stay in this town.
Well, we can keep eye out, maybe find out more about this Rousseau person. This maybe is easier for me and Yeffy to do alone, because we are more subtle types than,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're staying in our full black outfit, wizard,
Heavy metal
armor.
plate mail armor, yeah.
Team Yeffy and Sergey mix a little better into town, into small town.
Yeah.
This is a very good point.
Right, we will get. So we'll have positions of safety at inn. If things go very badly in forest, you come run back to inn, and we will ask around if possible, and maybe subtly, but we will keep ear to ground for where is doctor.
Okay.
All right.
Is this a good plan? Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
That's a good plan. Yeah.
Excellent. So
Better plan would have been to have the correct amount of rope and not have to do all this.
Sergey unfortunately doesn't hear the last comment as he and Yeffy start walking into town, and you can see Sergey actually stops and he takes off his coat and he folds it and he puts it in the boat, and he picks up some of the ragged clothes off of the beggar and puts those on to look a little more in place, and Yeffy rubs a little mud onto her face, and it's not long before they actually look fairly like draggled
pretty good.
Villagers, and the two of them go shuffling into town, leaving Bruno, Mina, and Indigo to head towards the forest.
Oh.
All right.
Excellent. So you break off from the trail and you head to the south into a fairly large, dense-looking wood to the south. Do you have any particular methods, any skills to bring to bear, or are you just go walk into the woods?
I am going to see if I find any trails or anything like that looks like goes to and from the village to the forest.
Great.
Ooh,
do you have the tracking skill? Or
I have the follow trail.
Follow
skill.
trail. That is perfect.
Okay,
Give me a follow
right.
trail
Nice.
usage.
Excellent. And +4. Yep. 15, 16, 17.
Very nice.
That's what I'm seeing.
All right. So,
Nice.
Indigo, you is looking around the trail that leads into town, the obvious path, and then looking towards the woods and trying to sort of figure out if I was trying to slide quickly between the woods and town, where would I do so? Eventually, you do find some tracks that lead off of the main road into town and off into the woods. It's not a super well-beaten trail, but it's definitely a couple of people have gone back and forth here, you think. And so you follow that, you pick up that trail, and you lead
Nice.
Mina and Bruno into the woods.
This was easy. Nicely
great.
done.
So you start heading into the woods. Everybody, roll me intelligence test, please.
Oh. What? That is an 8. 8 for Mina.
I got another 17.
17.
Oh, nice.
It was Big Brain Indigo Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruno?
Sorry, this is challenging one-handed.
You're
Wow.
holding up the phone
Jesus.
with one hand.
I have to. I don't really have a stand or
You don't have a
anything.
stand,
I was
yeah.
not prepared for this.
Oh, no.
This happening. I got a 22 though. So
Okay.
Oh
Great.
my god!
yeah.
Whoa, Bruno!
Okay. As you enter into the woods, you see it quickly gets much darker. The woods, the trees writhe upwards towards the sky with an almost sinister look, blocking out much of the sunlight. You notice there are a lot of gnarled roots. Mina, at one point, you're walking through the trail trying to keep up with Indigo as he pushes forward, spotting tracks, and you'd swear almost that the tree's root must have lunged out and grabbed your foot, because you stumble forward and you see this weird knotty root that has caught your foot. Although Bruno and Indigo quickly dismissed the notion that a tree's root would have reached out and grabbed you. Bruno, Indigo, you continue to spot the trail. That is fine. You're following it along, and definitely here and there you notice other odd tracks that seem to join in and almost make the trail more recognizable. It's definitely like people maybe have entered the woods from different spots or left the woods into different spots, but it looks like they then start to move as a larger group in this direction. Bruno, you notice that many of the trees start to be covered in large fungal growths, which have a strange, discolored, and warty-looking skin. You think you rolled above a 20? Is that right?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. At first, they catch your attention because they remind you ever so slightly of the fungus you saw up in the Barren Hills. And maybe even the sample that you have in your pack. And you go to peer closer, and you notice that one of them, the warty-looking skin on the fungus, almost seems to have almost looks like a human face,
Oh no.
leering out of a large mass of decay.
Oh. I don't know about this forest.
No. How is the forest worse than the terrible town?
Now, to be fair, this one kind of looks like my uncle Benji, so that's a little comforting. He was very worried, of course. So,
He looks like his face is frozen in a horrible grimace of. He looks like he's screaming at me.
Well, he was. See, when he was a young halfling, he was kicked by a horse, and it did paralyze half his face. So that was kind of his general visage. Is the fungus blue? Like, does it look of a coloration similar to what the people were made? Where that one guy was maybe frothing.
No, it's a dark kind of ruddy reddish brown color, actually.
Okay.
Indigo, as Bruno has stopped and is kind of looking at and prodding some of this fungus, Mina leaning over his shoulder, and there just seems to be discussing whether or not it looks like Uncle Benji. You spot, Indigo, in the distance down the trail, a pair of red eyes looking out of the darkness towards you that then quickly vanish.
Did they look humanoid? Did they look like human eyes? Could I tell anything about them? Were they angular like a cat's or a rat's?
They were too high up off the ground for a cat. So they were about at person height, although maybe just something's hanging from a low branch.
I'll draw my sword.
Okay.
What's happening?
There was something. We're being watched by something with bright red eyes, and I think it might be a rat man.
What?
In this forest? Why?
A rat man in this wood.
It suddenly
watch out.
goes very quiet. All the little noises of like rustling leaves or chirping insects or whatnot stop. And for a moment, it is dead silent.
Mina shuffles behind Indigo.
Hello? We're looking for Bliktrund.
Your query is answered by a howling scream. And there's a rustling of branches, and from all around you, suddenly jumping out creatures looking like men, large, muscly men, mostly naked but covered in hair, wearing loincloths or rags or tatters, but their heads are, one has like a goat head with big curling horns, and another one has like a long piggish snout with jutting tusks.
Mutants!
Ingrid? Is there an Ingrid?
They come rushing at you. They have spears, and they come rushing towards you.
Shit.
One of you roll me initiative, please.
This is so bad.
This is worse than the cat. We should have gone to the castle.
You know what? I bet the castle's worse. And initiative is a D6?
Yes.
Oh, you're doing it.
Yeah. No, you can go ahead.
All right. I rolled a 6. So there.
Nice. Excellent. I'll start with you, Mina, then. What do you want to do?
Oh boy, I didn't have a plan. How many monsters are there?
It looks like there are 5 of them. However, 2 are certainly leading the charge. The goat head and the pig-faced creature are kind of closer up towards the front, rushing towards you with spears drawn. Actually, rushing towards Indigo with spears drawn.
And they're just screaming. There's no human words.
Scream is, I guess, a word for it. It's very animalistic, the noise that they're making, yeah. Yeah, they basically they look like humanoids, but with this kind of animalistic
back from
heads.
Market. Oh man!
If we are standing in such a way that they're going after Indigo and they're coming towards us, I think I'm going to cast.
So Indigo is kind of between you and them, right? So you and Bruno were looking at some fungus. And you're looking back over your shoulder, and you see Indigo's kind of backing towards you, and has just drawn his sword, and then this happens.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Protection from Evil on Indigo.
Excellent.
He's kind of our
Nice,
very good.
Our person. That is a 4. I think that's positive, right? That works.
Yeah, it's a level 1, right? So yeah,
level 1. I've got it.
That does succeed.
Hooray.
So, Indigo. You have +2 bonus to AC and saves, and can't be touched by conjured creatures, for what that's worth. Bruno.
In character, do I know what a beastman is? Have I come across anything like this before, or is this totally foreign?
You may have heard tales. I don't know that you've ever met one, but you may have heard tales. Certainly, they don't, your initial reaction of mutants you think is not quite right.
Okay. I guess that's what okay. All right. I mean, there are 5 of them, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Correct. Two are definitely charging towards Indigo, and the other 3 seem to be holding back a little bit.
I would like to try to climb a tree and get into a perch a little higher up.
Great. Roll me an agility test.
Ha 4.
Okay. You run over to a tree and you look at it and you put your foot up on what you think is a knot, and it just comes away, and you realize it was a chunk of fungus, and it drops and rolls on the ground, and the little faces on it all start to scream.
Oh, I'm having a nightmare. Okay, it's fine. I passed out. I'm having a terrible nightmare again.
Excellent. Woo! Bruno looks in horror down at the chunk of screaming fungus at his feet.
I'll just wake up next to Yeffy any second from now. There we go.
Indigo, what are you doing?
So have these things closed on me yet? Or
man.
They are headed your way. It looks like after your turn, they're probably going to reach you.
Okay. I want to look around to see if I can find any, logs or loose debris around the path here that I can like quickly throw in front of me to like break their charge, maybe?
Okay. Great. Let's see. What kind of... There's certainly plenty of stuff, plenty of leaf litter, broken chunks of branches, logs, etc. There's plenty of that around. So I guess what I will ask for is an agility test. Let's make it an agility test. See if you can toss some stuff towards them in such a way as to break their charge.
19.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
Great. So you grab up a big chunk of moldering log that's a little damp with moisture and it's got little bits of fungus on it and whatnot, and you throw it towards them. As they come rushing forward, they indeed trip and stumble over the log. Actually, in fact, both of them losing their feet, their spears clattering to the ground. You can see, so that the two of them kind of fall to the ground for momentarily. They're starting to pick themselves back up. They're still making horrible noises. One braying like a goat, one squealing like a pig. The other three behind them start to close in, and you can see that they've got their spears and they're kind of fanning out a little bit to almost make like a little bit of a semicircle around you. But they seem hesitant to really completely close with you just yet. But the two, the goat-headed one and the pig-headed one, are sprawled out on the ground and they're collecting themselves. Mina, what would you like to do?
I can't believe these guys have tactics. Should we run? Should we just run? I'm gonna. I will cast Magic Missile on the one to whichever, if they're fanning out around us, whichever one is fanned out in the direction that is further into the woods, I would like to cast on that with the idea that we can bring them down and just get on out of here. And that's a 6, so I successfully cast that.
Excellent.
And I think because I'm level 3 now, I get 2 Magic Missile. Which is exciting. All right.
Double the missiles.
It's double the missiles. It's D6 plus 1 per. So should I just roll 1 and it doubles, or should I roll 2?
Roll 2, please.
Okay. So that's a 4 and a 3. It's 7 plus 2, 9. That's not bad at all.
9 wounds.
Yes.
Okay, great. So magical bolts of energy go flying from Mina's hand, slamming into the beastmen on the far right, kind of a little further back, and just blasts him off of his feet. He goes rolling and tumbling back into the woods and lays there motionless. Bruno, what are you doing?
Great. I mean, all right. I guess I'm not gonna get up this tree or wake this nightmare. All right, I'm gonna pull out my sling and I'm looking at one of the other out that has not. Mina.
We're losing you a little bit, Max. You're getting out your sling.
Sorry.
And
Can't hear me. I'm still.
There we go.
Oh, that's way worse than I imagined.
No! Oh my God, we should definitely be running.
There we go.
Look at that! Look at those legs!
Oh my God.
They've got like sores on them or something, or just hundreds of packs, 15 packs.
It's just a very tough, warty hide that he's got. Yeah.
Pecs all the way to his legs.
Hear me at all?
Oh.
Any luck here?
Oh, I'm hearing you. Hearing you.
I can hear that now.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's great. Do I sound like a robot, or is it all right?
You sound okay. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pull out my. I'm going to attempt to stay connected to this game.
Yep.
I'm going to pull out my sling and try to sling at one of the ones that Mina did not just blast.
So one of the ones in the back, though, not the two that are up front.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the two that were up front fell down when
Yeah,
Going into
they're still
Indigo's
collecting themselves
Okay.
up off the ground.
Okay, great. Indigo can definitely handle those ones. Unfortunately, I rolled a natural 1 because
Slingstone goes clattering into the woods.
I sling, but the whole time I'm looking at the screaming log at my feet.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Indigo,
This
what are you doing?
horse is the worst.
I'm gonna step forward and try to stab the pig-headed creature
Excellent.
as he's getting up and collecting itself.
All right, great. I will. I'll give you a +2 on your attack because he is still trying to get to his feet.
Nice. I have rolled a 12 total.
Unfortunately,
No!
you stab down at him and are surprised at just how tough and warty his skin actually is. Almost like a heavy armor. It turns the blade aside, and you give him a big welt, but he doesn't seem injured.
He works out.
Yeah. Yes,
He's hot.
he gets up, he scoops up his spear, and he squeals at you in a way that almost sounds like, "Do you even lift, bro?"
Oh,
And-
no.
Oh, he's a jerk.
It's worse than I imagined. Yeah.
and he jabs at you with his spear, Indigo.
My AC with the magical spell is 0 right now.
0.
Nice.
0. Goose
Excellent.
egg.
Excellent. So the goat man likewise is jabbing his spear at you. The goat man's spear turns aside as if by magical energy away from you. But the pig man, incredibly irritated by the large welt that's appeared on his thigh, still manages to score a hit
Come
for
on.
4 points of damage.
4 points. Ugh.
The two in the back continue to just stay on the periphery of the fight, kind of seeming to, as if they're trying to gauge how it's going. They look nervously at their comrade who has fallen to magic missiles. They seem hesitant to join the fight. Mina, what are you doing?
Mina's gonna take her fancy necromancy staff to try and stab the I guess the horrible pig man who's very insulting. But kind of see as if when she holds it and gives it a little shake, the horrible beast man who she flung across the clearing doesn't perhaps get up and say hey or something. Does anything happen? Is there any kind
Who's
of
trying to raise the dead now? Oh, it's all so bad until it's your dead servitors.
and something else happens to happen? Who can say? Who can say?
So this is the, sorry, when you say you're talking about the staff? You have the staff out?
The staff, yes.
Yeah, excellent. Roll a number of magic dice of your choosing. I don't know how many magic dice you have, Mina.
I still only have the one. So
You only have the
I'll
one. So
roll the one.
roll your magic die for me.
Oh, and that was a 1. So I'm guessing that didn't work at all.
Oh, it's delightful. Okay.
Gets up, and now he's attacking me.
Gotta love magic.
Great.
You
and good.
see a little rustling of the leaves where you knocked back the beast man into the woods. You think that you think that the magic must have worked, that the creature is arising, but actually what shuffles forward is about a foot tall and appears to be just a big chunk of mushroom covered in faces
shit.
with little mushroom limbs, and it comes stumbling forward into the open area, and then just lunges forward and collapses onto the ground and breaks apart into a dozen pieces on the ground in front of you.
Oh my god.
What the fuck? Where are we?
Bruno, what do you do?
God, at least the
There
castle
lies
would just be
necromancy.
normal armed knights. Oh man! All right. Screw all this. I'm just gonna pull out my daggers and charge for the two that Indigo is fighting, since
Okay.
they seem to be the leaders.
Great.
He hasn't. Neither of them have been hit yet, right?
No, the pig man has a welt on his leg where he got slapped with the flat of Indigo's blade, but doesn't really seem to be injured in any way. Oh, we always lose you on your turn, Bruno. That's delightful. That's just delightful.
Of course. Maybe I'm just gonna keep talking again, and hopefully that will be any second now. Can you hear me?
Ish.
We can hear you a little bit better.
I'm gonna skip ahead to Indigo, and if you want to type to me on Discord what you're doing, we can do that. Hopefully your video will start to come through. Indigo, what are you doing?
I am going to attack the pigman again.
Very good.
He seems like the most dangerous, just by being the most heavily armored. All right, here we go. That's a 7. That's a miss.
That is indeed a miss.
Can you hear
Just
me?
too thick.
I heard you a little bit there.
Okay. Hear me?
It doesn't make it better when you turn off your video.
It doesn't make a video.
No, it's not helping. Not helping.
But I admire your tenacity.
Sorry. Man.
Wait. Oh. Just hold up a sign. Just has words on it.
Okay. So, it sounded like Bruno was going forward to attack the pig creature.
Anything?
Oh,
Yeah?
I can hear you.
Yes.
I can hear
Can you hear
you.
me? Okay.
Did you roll some attacks?
I did not. I'm going to creature possible. Nope, and now I'm cut out again as soon as I'm trying to. Yep.
Oh dear.
If you want to just roll and drop whatever you get in the chat.
Okay. So, Indigo, the two beastmen regain their feet. The pigman and the goat-headed guy. They're circling around you, squealing and braying at you, and they both lunge forward with their spears. You manage to parry one to the side, and the other one again skips off of almost a magical force of energy, totally unable to connect with you.
Hey!
The beastmen standing in the back, are making noise and like thumping their spears onto the ground, almost as if they're urging the two on. Mina, what would you like to do?
All right. So the two in the middle are clearly the real problems here. I'm gonna try magic missile again, and try and aim for one each. See if that works out. Oh, that's a 6. Only 1s or 6s here. Excellent. So I got a 2 and a 3. So I'll throw the weaker one at the goatman and the stronger one at the boar.
Okay, so
if I can separate them out.
Goatman takes 2 points of damage.
They both get a +1. Sorry, I should have just told you that.
Yep.
One gets 3, one gets 4.
Very good. Very good.
I'm hoping it blasts them back a little bit also.
And 4 to the pigman. Okay, so they both get struck with the magical energy, and you can see the impact marks across the chest of the pigman, and some of the goatman's fur ignites. But they push forward. They definitely clearly are injured, but they push forward into the fight, ready to go. Max, are you there?
I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh my god!
Fine.
Okay, let's at least try to get through this fight.
Yes. What are you doing?
I desperately try to attack the goatman with my daggers.
Give me some attacks.
Max!
Oh, you got it.
You gotta just roll your rolls up front so you have them queued up. So when we're connected, you can just tell me how it went.
Max, we need your daggers so badly.
I wonder, Max,
communicating by telegram.
I kind of wonder if he's got his phone connected to Wi-Fi, meaning it's having all the same network problems that his home network is having. Okay, great. I see that he's gotten a 10 and a 16, so that's very good. So the 16 hits, and
Can you hear me?
I can roll me some damage for one of those hits.
I tried turning off, for 4 points of damage, I tried turning off my Wi-Fi on my phone to see if it can force it to use the network connection.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. How much damage?
4.
4.
4 points
and
of damage.
I believe that was on the goat man. So
it was, yeah.
Great. Okay. All right. So Bruno's come rushing forward and stabbed the goat man with his daggers. It brays in anger and lowers its head as if it's ready to charge Bruno and try to gore him with his horns.
Yeah.
No.
Indigo. Exactly.
Indigo, what are you doing?
So I'm gonna attack the goat man. It seems like he's a bit easier to hit. His flesh is weaker. But I've only rolled a 10. All of my good rolls are gone.
That is a miss. Are you trying, as you attack the goat man, to get in the way of his charge? Because he clearly is about to go for Bruno with his horns. So Indigo,
I do that thing.
You swing at him. You try to get in the way. Which you are able to do, so the goat man's attacks will be against you, and the pig man jamming his spear at you again. Okay, that is your AC is now 0. Is that right?
0.
Okay,
0.
0.
So, unfortunately, the goat man comes just rushing towards you, and his horns press against what you feel like is just magical resistance, but it still manages to just barely graze you with the tip of one of his horns. You take 3 points of damage as you go getting pushed backwards from the raw impact of the goat man's horns. The jab of the spear is easily avoided. Mina, what are you doing?
I'm going to try and do the same thing. 1 each. Feels like it's kind of working. But that is my 1. That's my back and forth. It's a 1, 6, 1.
It's either insane success or
insane failure.
Or
yes, sir.
Yeah, or mishap. So,
what great things will happen to me today? What horror can I bring forth?
So you can see the other two beastmen on the periphery of the fight. You know, they're kind of rhythmically slamming their spears into the ground, and they're grunting and chanting. And the whatever odd noises they're making starts to get picked up by dozens of little mouths attached to all the fungus around you, and soon you're surrounded by this cacophony of voices chanting something in a strange guttural language.
They're friggin' wizards.
Bruno, what are you doing?
Hopefully making it through my turn while connected.
Yes, we're hoping too.
All right. I'm just going to continue stabbing at this goat man.
Excellent.
Ignoring this Irish song, that deal, I assume. 10 again. And 1. Perfect.
Oh.
Perfect.
Yeah. Jamming at him with your... he continues to just keep his head down, and every time you try to reach in there with a dagger, he knocks it aside with his horns, and he brays at you. Indigo, what are you doing?
I'm gonna attack the goat man again, and I'm gonna hit this time. Yes,
you are.
I rolled an 8.
We're so bad today.
You guys are really
this is a terrible day.
Why you terrible?
Think about running.
Okay.
We
should. The goat man spins around, kind of steps back from you, Indigo, lowers his head, and just rushes straight at Bruno. Bruno, you manage to roll to the side as the goat man kind of almost sort of matador-like as the goat man goes rushing across where you once were standing. Indigo, the pig-tusked creature, jams his spear at you, and you manage to knock it aside with your sword. you can see the voices of the fungus is finally starting to die down, but still the two beastmen on the periphery are still continuing to slam their spears. You see another one of them is another sort of somewhat smaller goat man with curly horns. As it lifts its head and starts to bray, suddenly a fletching of an arrow appears in its neck with a big spray of blood, and it kind of gurgles and drops to the ground.
Oh,
Nice spell,
thank
Mina.
God! I thought
That was a good one.
that was not me. You would have known if it was me because it wouldn't have worked.
Mina, what are you doing?
I'm gonna kill the other chanting jerk. That's
Okay.
not happening.
Okay.
No, thank you. All of my magic missiles. No, I got a 1. So
Oh man.
Not again.
Why do you only roll 1s and 6s? This is ridiculous.
I don't know. These die are broken.
No, I
And
don't.
he's just got a quarter that she's flipping. It's the
Yeah, I forgot to mention I don't actually own any die.
Okay. You blast.
Tragic.
Your 2 magic missiles go flying towards the beast man. One slams into a tree and just scatters. The other one skims off of the ground, actually slams into one of the bits of fungus, and you're amazed to see it kind of like the fungus just like grows. It just gets bigger, and the missile ricochets off of it and actually starts to ping pong around this little clearing, ting, 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 and then slams into you, Mina. Please roll damage.
Oh no.
This should be a 1.
Everywhere,
this one's a 6. This one's a 4.
That's, of
This
course,
one's my 6.
everywhere that the missile strikes, by the way, the fungus just blossoms.
Oh,
Great! Now
no.
I have fungus in my leg. Amazing.
Bruno, what are you doing?
All right. I'm just going to continue to stab at this goat man. I can't. We're mono e godo here. I'm not letting this one go.
Yeah.
Okay. 20.
Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's got to be a hit for 4 points of damage.
Very good.
Second attack is a natural 20, making that a 23. There we go.
Excellent.
This is really making up for it. For 3 points of damage.
Okay. So, again, Matador-like, Bruno waits. The goat man lowers his head, comes rushing at Bruno, jumps to the side, jams both of his daggers into the side, catching the goat man in perhaps like the liver and the neck. Blood sprays everywhere, and the goat man just tumbles forward and lays still in a pool of blood, just a few feet away from where Bruno stood.
Mutants!
Nice.
Woo!
Indigo, what do you do?
I'm attacking the pig man. I square up to him,
Yep.
and I say, yes, 19!
Excellent.
Nice.
That is a hit.
Yes.
So this is this plus this for 3 points of damage.
Excellent. You slam your sword into the throat of the pig man, and his squealing stops, and he drops to the ground dead.
Yes! Nice.
You can see now that the one remaining beast man turns to flee, and then suddenly is struck by several arrows and drops dead into the circle as well. And
Got him.
slowly stepping forward from out of the woods, you can see a woman in leather armor holding a bow. She steps towards you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was,
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
We had it though. Like we were.
What are you doing? What are you doing here in the woods, rousing the beastmen?
We're
We
looking
didn't
for.
mean to.
No, that's true. We were actually just looking for Ingrid. No, Ingrid.
Bliktrund.
Ingrid, both. The camp.
The camp.
There's a camp out here, yes. There's
Yes.
a camp
Yeah.
in the camp.
There's a distant. You hear a distant braying sound from somewhere deep in the woods.
Or wherever.
And she looks over her shoulder and she says, "I'm Hilda, She reaches out her hand to which of you is closest.
Probably
I'll shake
Indigo.
her hand. Yeah.
Indigo.
Hello.
Excellent. I'm Hilda. I'll take you to the camp quickly.
Yeah.
Turns, starts heading down
Quickly,
the trail.
yes.
God. Limps along.
Wow. Excellent. She moves rapidly through the woods along the direction originally that you were headed, Indigo. Although, unlike you, she's not looking for signs of trails or anything. She seems to know the way by heart. So
Right.
she moves quite quickly. As you push through the woods, it continues to be very dark and sinister. The strange fungus grows everywhere, and you hear distant noises in the woods of braying of animals, you hope, or possibly the cries of further beastmen. But then suddenly, as if a switch were thrown, you're walking along this trail, and you suddenly find yourself entering a part of the wood where the trees grow straight and green, and the ground is covered in grass and occasional wildflowers, and suddenly it's like night and day. You just suddenly come into this area that feels like pleasant glade rather than the horrific twisted wood that you were just in. And as soon as you step into this area, Hilda slows her pace and turns to face you. What is your name?
I'm Indigo. This is
Mina.
Bruno. This is Mina.
Where are we?
We are protected by Rhea now.
By who?
This-
The
Rhea,
goddess.
the goddess.
Oh, the goddess. Yes, I'm religious. So
Oh,
She-
Sure, for sure. Mhm.
she's doing a great job in
Yeah.
this one section. Not so hot where we were.
Yeah, does she know about the town?
Her lands, her protection used to spread further, but we still have this. Come now, we shall make our way to camp. We should get there before it gets too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
She continues to walk along the trail, and she'll talk to you as you go. But every now and then, Indigo, she stops. She'll stop you, and she says, "Don't step there. Walk around this tree to the right. Don't
Yeah.
don't trot upon that rock."
Yeah.
What's with
You
the
keep this place well protected, huh?
Yes, we must.
Yeah.
booby traps? Ah,
Yeah.
Oh.
smart. I've
So-
noticed that the
Very
woods are
smart.
infested with beastmen.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many of you are there in the camp?
There are about 20 of us.
Okay. And you're
That's you?
I was going to say that many.
depends how you look at it, I guess.
Yeah. This woods is bad.
Yeah. Are you actually? We heard the camp was inhabited by bandits, but you seem nice. You know?
Bandits. Yes, that's, I suppose, what the outsiders think of us. We are those who left the village to avoid persecution of one sort or another.
That was
Seems
good.
bad there.
My experiences in the village, though brief, were worth leaving for.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 As you're walking, you can see spread out in front of you a large clearing, and there are several tents, and there's a large central cook fire, and you can see more people moving around them. Various men and women. Most appear to be able-bodied and fairly young. And you can see that they've got a large spit erected over the cook fire, and they seem to be cooking some food. It is starting to get towards evening, you think. As you approach into the clearing, you can see another woman separates from the group and walks forward to intercept you, and you can see that she is garbed in similar clothes to the others, a lot of leathers, natural-looking clothes, stuff that generally blends into the woods fairly well. But her hair is adorned with beads and feathers, and she carries a staff in her hand that looks like a very gnarled old piece of wood that has etched on it some odd-looking symbols.
Cool. Do I recognize any of them?
Do you have any particular skills in religious
No, I was thinking that they might be magic-y.
You can roll an intelligence test for me.
I can read and write.
Roll me an
That's an 11, so
Okay.
probably not.
They are not arcane as far as you can tell. But your uninformed guess would be that they're religious in nature.
Got it. Cool.
She says, Hilda, who are these strangers? This is Indigo and Mina and Bruno. This is Ingrid, our priestess and leader. Ingrid comes forward. Ingrid comes forward and shakes each of your hands as you enter. Welcome, friends. Welcome to our little camp. Come sit by the fire.
You.
We are just preparing the evening meal. You can tell us what brings you to this terrible place.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. This place seems great. This specific part of it.
Well,
Yeah.
we do what we can.
Yeah.
As long as we're eating regular pig and not like pig man.
Actually, appears to be venison. They have a deer that they have caught and are
That's
cooking.
acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a full deer and not like a deer man, also.
Not a deer man.
No one would mutate into a deer man. That's a pretty lame one. You definitely go with goat or pig or something terrifying, you know.
Wow.
Could be scary with the antlers.
Okay, not to complain, but my phone has now reached the temperature of the sun.
Oh God! All right, you want to?
Yeah,
gonna switch back to the computer and see if it works, or
I can try. If you all want to go on without me, I'm not going to complain. I'm really sorry. I was hoping that our issues would be resolved here.
I will. Why don't we? Why don't I at least continue for a little bit with Mina and Indigo? You can chat with Ingrid, and maybe we'll just we'll end a little early tonight if we must.
Okay, I'm sorry, friends.
Not a problem.
Right, we got through the fight.
We got through the fight.
We did it. We managed it. Oh shoot! I was going to ask Bruno to heal me.
We will.
That's all right.
Yeah, write a note to yourself for next week, and we will retcon that in. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So Bruno pulls up a log and starts eating. The rest of Indigo and Mina, you're each given some food, and then Ingrid. So why are you here, strangers?
Yeah. So a couple reasons.
Just the one great reason. Just the
Well, right.
just the
Here's
good-
specifically
just the-
one
just
reason.
The legal, just the legal reason.
I see, yeah. So, we're, we fancy ourselves monster hunters of a sort. And, we have, discovered in our journeys that possibly in Castle Wittgenstein there is a piece of stone that comes from Morsleib, and we've heard bad things about everywhere around here. Horrible mutations, miserable townsfolk, general evil done by the Wittgenstein family, and we were seeing if we could retrieve that stone. And we heard about you, a group of brigands causing trouble for the Wittgenstein castle, and we thought that you might be allies.
Indeed.
Yeah. Yes.
The Wittgensteins are a plague on this land. They do terrible things to our people. and they abduct them and bring them to the castle for God knows what. Marguerite is usually the one who comes down and just takes people up there, and they're never seen again. Some of us have tried to resist, and we are cut down or chased off, and we end up here in this camp. We've wanted to bring the fight to the Wittgensteins for some time. Perhaps Rhea has sent you our way to help us in the planning of such a thing. You think they have so you say they have an artifact, a powerful magical device.
Something that might
a meteor from
corrupting the
Horsley.
space. Yes.
I see. And you think this powers their magics, or what? How will removing this stop the blight of the Wittgensteins on this land?
Well, we're hoping it might stop the more, blighty part of the blight. Like, they'll still be bad people, but hopefully removing it will keep them from mutating people and making the forest scream. And that might make
was
things...
bad.
That was very bad. Do you know why the forest is screaming?
Yeah, I do not. It has gotten worse and worse over time. Something foul plagues all the lands around here, and I think it emanates from the castle.
Yeah,
we've seen something similar in the Badlands. What was that? Where was that? The hills to the north. Where apparently this stone, this meteor, first struck. We spoke to a druid there who explored this area, and apparently it was the cause of all of this blight. Now, the blight was still there, unfortunately, but the druid's magic was able to stop it once the stone was removed. So, while it might not reverse the effects of the blight here, removing the stone will hopefully at least stop the spread.
Yeah.
Yes, this is good. Yes. If it is this stone that is causing the trouble to the land itself, then removing it is certainly very important. And if the stone is held by Marguerite, then perhaps to remove it, we will have to kill her.
That has crossed my mind.
So, perhaps we will join forces together and go and infiltrate the castle and remove the stone and kill the lady.
Yeah, that sounds like a definite plan to have for the future.
Good. I like this
A week
plan.
from now. Yeah.
This is good. We shall rid our lands of two evils. Indigo, Mina.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yes, two evils, doing two things at once. That's the kind of planning I like to do, too.
Yeah, because you get to knock things out of the park.
Yep.
Even if you didn't ask for them originally. You get to do
Anyway,
them.
what do you know about the Wittgensteins? We know very little, besides that they are independent from the Empire. And horrible, evil mutators.
They're an old family that has ruled this land for generations. In my parents' time, there was, of course, the elder Wittgensteins. Ludwig was the patriarch, but we do not see him or his wife. It is mostly Marguerite and her men that we see in town. She is who comes to town to take the people away. She has some friends in town. There's a doctor she visits, but he does what he can for the people of the town, but it does little good.
Oh, he's good, like a good person? Like you consider
I
him
do
to
not
be an
know.
ally?
He attempts to keep the peace. He attempts to help the people, but he is friends with the von Wittgenstein, so how good can he be?
Yeah. We'd heard some information about him that wasn't very savory. Might be worth, just checking in to see what he's been doing with her. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a second thing we could do.
I thought...
You could,
Yeah.
but does it matter once we've infiltrated the castle and killed her?
But maybe
Doctor
he
will.
knows... I mean, if she's been checking in with him frequently, maybe she's got some kind of weakness or something that he knows about.
Hidden foul strength,
Hidden foul
Provided by-
strength, yes.
corruption.
Yes.
It's important
I
to
mean,
be
anyone
informed
who-
before you siege a castle.
Yeah. Know thine enemy, or whatever. Feels religious.
It's possible, I suppose, but what are you suggesting? That you return to the town and interrogate the doctor? This all gives them lots of time to... I favor a bold attack. Let us take our bands that we have here. We shall erect some ladders and we shall assault the walls. We shall infiltrate the castle and bring the fight to Marguerite. Kill her and take this magical artifact from her.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking, you've tried before, right? You usually lose men. We don't want that to happen.
We have never tried to assault the castle before.
Well, sure, but you've tried to sort of,
Have you tried
do some
any
work.
direct assault?
No, never. We've talked about it a lot, but we've never attempted to pull it off. But from what Hilda tells me of your abilities fighting off the beastmen, I think that it sounds like you are powerful.
Oh.
You'll be good allies. I was hoping to do it soon myself, regardless. But you seem to know some things about the devices or magics that Marguerite might bring to the fight.
Well, sure. I mean, we do have some allies that we left behind in the town, so we probably
there are
want to
more.
go grab them.
Yes.
Also, just two. But, maybe two birds, one stone. Again, we could loop into town, grab our allies, maybe pay a visit to the doctor,
Interrogate
and
this
then come
doctor
back
friend.
here. Yes.
Very good.
Yes. While we're having this conversation, Nina would like to introduce herself around. There's only 20 people. Surely she's going to figure out which one is Bliktrund.
Excellent. So, you get the impression as you continue to talk clearly that Ingrid is pretty much in favor of attacking the castle as soon as possible. But it will take some time, I suppose, to prepare. If it's night now. Perhaps you stay at the camp, and in the morning, a few of my people can escort you back to town, and you could gather your allies. And if you must speak with the doctor, you could do so, and then come back, and we will lead the assault.
Yes, and then we strike.
Yes, that was
as
right.
you're continuing to you meet Klaus and Hans and Brigitte and eventually Bliktrund, who appears who appears to be a fairly actually I think Bliktrund is a young woman who has an eye patch. And looks very wiry, and a little disheveled and a little dirty. But she's you greet her. And, yes, I'm Bliktrund. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Are we alone with Bliktrund? Is Ingrid
You can
right there?
eventually, over the course of the night, you can find a quiet moment with Bliktrund. Sure.
Great.
The heroes who've come to help us assault the walls.
And another thing.
There is another thing
Oh?
also.
Notrind told us to speak with you, Nortrind,
Nortrand.
about the Dr. Rousseau.
Said that you'd be willing to help us, maybe shake him down.
get some items from him, perhaps a large quantity of a single item. Indigo kind of scratches his nose, knowingly.
Yeah, and
you are,
very, very.
If you are friends of Nortrand, I know Nortrand. We have a deal. Some things I have recovered from Rousseau's house in the dark of night and sold to Nortrand. There's more, but you want a large quantity. How much?
Not as much as would fit in the coffin. So, yeah,
all of it.
All of it.
That is not something that could be removed by stealth. I steal a bottle here, a bottle there. You're talking about his whole supply.
We are
make it invisible.
We are about to assault the castle, so
yes, that's true. That's true. So you want to hit Rousseau and steal everything before we assault the castle, or after, in the aftermath? We return to town after having successfully struck down Marguerite. Are you even here to take down the Wittgensteins, or is it all a ruse just to get at Rousseau?
Ma'am. 2 reasons.
We have 2 separate goals, separate but equal
personal
goals,
and the professional. Yeah. The thing is that I wonder if Rousseau is an associate of Marguerite, that he might pack up and run if he hears something terrible has happened to the castle. So I think we really would like to do this. First off,
he's in love with her.
Ew. I mean, fair, but
oh yes.
Her, right?
Oh, he loves her dearly, though he wouldn't admit it, I think, out loud. It is clear.
Does he know she's, like, super evil?
It's not as big of a deterrent as you'd think.
It's
corrupted by chaos. That's a pretty big deterrent.
Rousseau is not. Rousseau is not perhaps as honorable a man as everyone in town thinks he is. Although he does try to help the town, but is that medicine he peddles really helping them?
Does he sell them the drugs?
Oh yes, rotgut. He
that's
calls
what he's doing for them.
Or the townsfolk call it rotgut. They are all addicted to it.
So he sucks. So let's take this problem and put it in the larger city, shall we?
Do you know where he gets it? Does he make it himself?
Yes, he makes it in his basement. That is where I've pilfered some of the bottles from.
Right.
Not the. He brews a concoction that's with it. But what I have stolen from his basement is the herb, the powders. That is the essence. That is what Nortrand desires. The refined.
Yeah.
I don't know where that comes from. He has a large supply of it, but I don't know where he got it.
No, we're
Here's
good.
a thought. No, we're good. Probably the screaming forest. It's probably the fungus. You know what? That feels right. That feels right to me. Here's a thought. If the castle was to be attacked, and someone was to go to him and tell him the castle was going to be attacked and that Marguerite was going to be killed,
yes,
and he would probably leave to protect her if he's in love with her.
That seems a reasonable supposition.
And then we could just take all the stuff. That would
But
put a
then
damper.
surely he would alert Marguerite, who would put all of the castle's guards on alert, which would make the assault much more difficult. Are you willing to sacrifice Ingrid's assault for the sake of this?
For the sake of our literal lives?
We can roll up to Rousseau's place. We just beat him about the head until he falls asleep, and then we take all of his stuff, and then we sack the castle. No one's going to be the wiser because there's a castle sacking going on.
All right, we just have to make sure that he doesn't get out.
Yeah,
Anyone.
We knock him out, we tie him up, we leave him with Sergei.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Sergei
the
puts the
best
stuff in the
solution.
boat, we kill the lady, take the rock, we leave, Rhea cleanses the forest,
Easy.
everybody's
We
happy.
solved all the problems. I wonder, the easiest solution really would be to find out. I wonder, do we care about this business operation as a long-term investment? Because we probably do want to find out where he's actually getting this stuff from. Or rather, Sergei would want that. Or rather, the fat aunt would want that.
Yeah.
Or
And
do we not care?
so that would be valuable information. We could probably sell it to the Kislevites for a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also worried that it might be coming from a chaos plant.
I feel almost positive that it is in fact coming from a chaos plant. I worry that that's the thing that's causing that blue crust on people's mouth.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a terrible place.
This is a terrible place. I'm just wondering, just as an aside to all of these plans, have we considered getting the chaos thing and then just literally destroying it?
That's sounding more like a better idea
Mm-hmm. Like, where are we going to bring it?
than selling it. If we sell it, someone's going to do something evil with it.
Someone's going to do something evil with it. And in this place, I believe it's locked up, and they're still doing this.
Yeah. Okay, right. So we get the stone. We give it to the Temple of Sigmar, and they destroy it.
We're really lucky that Yeffy is gone and that Bruno is eating.
I feel like one of them would conversation with them, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like one of them would probably have something to say about this.
As the two of you now having discussed for a moment there with Bliktrund and then pulling aside and huddled together near the fire, discussing in hushed whispers your various plans. Mina, you feel a hand grab you by the elbow, and you look around, and there's Bliktrund, and she leans into you, and she says, "I can show you the way into Rousseau's basement. If you wish to take care of Rousseau, then I can certainly help you find the things in his domicile you want. But what is in it for Bliktrund?"
Money. I assume you've been getting paid money.
How much?
Sergei will give you. Right, Indigo?
Yes, you will receive a forward payment of 5 gold crowns.
5 gold crowns.
I want 20.
20 gold crowns. How about 10 now? 10 once it's over.
Very well.
Great. I'll give her the 10 crowns now before I forget.
Okay, excellent. You hand her 10
I was going to say, we can do 5 each if you'd like.
Good.
I got it. It's fine.
I will make sure I am assigned to the detail to help escort you to town in the morning. Sleep well. She scurries off to her tent.
Probably because the forest screams.
And the forest screams back good night.
So since we reached a point here where clearly there's a lot of options open to you, and you probably need to talk to your compatriots about long-ranging plans, we will call the game right there. I know we're about half an hour early. I'm sorry, everyone, but due to unforeseen technical difficulties with only 2 players left, I think that we should probably wrap it up here. So, thank you everyone for joining us. Again, apologies. Join us next week, which will be the season finale of 10 Dead Rats, and find out which, if any of these plans, they're able to pull off. And how many might go awry? Thanks for joining us, everyone. Good night, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.